Hello again. So, I think I promised at the end of the last choreography, or at the end of the little video I did for the last choreography, that this last dance was going to be a drum solo. So, before we start working on the choreography itself, I should probably explain what a drum solo is. It is not, lest this vision had been in your head, a solo danced on a drum. You could do that if you really didn't care about your drum and have one big enough. But that's not really a belly dance thing, and that's not what we're doing here. A drum solo is really more of a duet than it is a solo. It can even be a group piece, but it is a piece danced between the drummer and the dancer. The drummer plays, the dancer responds. And then an improvised drum solo where the drummer is just playing whatever they want and the dancer is dancing along. Well, that is an art unto itself. The drummer will have a few little cues maybe to give the dancer an idea of what's coming up. But that's an amazing synergy of music and dance which we cannot really hope to recreate with recorded music. But in its basis, drum solo is a solo drum piece. The drummer is the one playing the solo, to which we dance. And the movements of the belly dancer are supposed to express the staccato sound of the drum. So you are not going to get a whole lot of flowing music and long sweepy things. You might get a few hip circles just to add a twist on the end. You can get some internal circles. You might be adding some of those later. But on the whole, the drum solo is punchy, sharp, staccato, dramatic, or of course, the shimmy. So we're going to start with our nameless shuka shuka movement. And now I've got a hip scarf on so you can hopefully hear it as I go. And it's not that fast. We're going dum, 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 dum. So 1 shuka, 2 shuka, 3 shuka, 4 shuka. And then twice that fast. 1 shuka, 2 shuka, 3 shuka, 4 shuka. And then a shimmy. So that really is just dak, 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 dakita, 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 shimmy, 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 shimmy. Very tiny bit of our not an Egyptian walk. If you can't quite manage that, then you can do pop, so a little hip lift, and then take the weight, lift, 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 hips, 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 so side, 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 either still travelling or standing on the spot, and a shimmy. So, if you can manage the Egyptian, not Egyptian, you're going 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... So it's building up from slow, 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 faster and faster and faster and faster and shimmy, and on to the next thing. If that's too much for you, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and shimmy. The same effect, different steps. If you can do this, it's super easy. You don't know what all the fuss is about. You're just standing there going. Then, I have a challenge for you. Add that twist I talked about. When we were discussing the Hagala step, put the twist back in. So you are going, twist your hip forward, flop, shift, lift, twist the hip forward, you twist it on the lift, flop, lift, flop. So you would be going 1, 2, 3, 4, dakita, 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 dakita. But that's the advanced version. So, there's our first little teeny tiny nodule. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, dakita, 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 dakita. I'm going to put on the music for that tiny fragment so you can see how quick it is. You can understand. Right, to start. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay, going to do that one more time, then I'll show you the next bit and we'll stick them together. having shimmied, we're now about where we want to spend our time dancing, so about here. And we're going to use that sohizaki step to turn with our back to the audience. And we're going to bring our arms here, because sohizaki would often have pretty little framey arms. So find a position for your hands which looks good for you. Find a mirror, I have one there, and think you look better like this, like this, like this. Create a nice folded arm under the head, a bit vintagey, a little bit cute, to go with our sohizaki movement. And we are just going to go pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, and pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. Okay, so practice just that tiny bit, then we'll add on the rest of this section. So it's just pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, or bring your arms down if you want to. Pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, bringing your arms out. Having done that, we're going to bring our arms together as we turn to the side. Still using the sohizaki steps. This means we have half as far to travel, but it's in the same amount of time. So we're doing much littler steps. We're going tiny, 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 tiny. When we get here and our arms together, we open out, turn back, and do a little shoulder shimmy. And then we go, now we've got the full distance to go again, which makes it a bit easier with our arms open. Tiny, 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 and a shoulder shimmy this way. Okay, so that whole section is pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. Pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. Pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. Pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. I'll put some music on. We'll practice that a bit. We'll put those two sections together. Here we go. Oh, that was it. I missed my cue. I'll go a little bit further back. So that, by the way, is a quarter of the dance. It's a very short piece. It's also the highest energy type of dance, the drum solo, really. We're doing a very little drum solo here. It'll probably take today and next week, and you'll be done. Maybe 3 days if I want to add a few extra bits on, but probably not. So we're going to run through both of those sections together now, and then we'll add the last bit on for today. So without the music first, we have got, coming back, you can either frame your hips here or just hold your arms at the side, and we're going pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim, pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shim. Simple? Appalling? Who can say? Let's see how that works to music. One more time through that, and we'll add the last bit for today. I'll try to remember to call it out this time, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, shimmy, 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 and pop, 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 shimmy, 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 pop, 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 and a shimmy, 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 pop, 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 and a shimmy, 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 pop, 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 and a shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. does tell you what to do and where to go. You just have to decide which accent goes there. Which is why, if you need to change it, it's just accent here and accent here and accent here, accent here, accent here and accent here, and shimmy, and it still works. It's just a matter of finding things that fit the tone and the speed and the feel of what you're doing. It's all about the accents. So, we've gone from here, we have shimmied. We're now going to lean into this hip and shimmy, and it goes shimmy over here, and we move our legs. It's just a basic Egyptian shimmy, so back and forth with the legs. We are moving both legs, even though the weight is on one side or the other. We go shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and flip around. And once we're flipped, we're going shimmy over here, or over here, wherever is easier for you, really. I don't want you to worry too much about where your weight is this time. Shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and flip around. You can go back on yourself, you can complete the circle. Do whatever feels good, it's your dance. So that's shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and flip her around. Shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, and shimmy over here, flip her around. Now we're going shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop. So shimmy and shift the weight. That's a hip bump. Shimmy on one leg and shift the weight. Shimmy one leg, not using both legs in this section. Shift the weight, shimmy on one leg, shift the weight. So we're doing shimmies with both legs. So 1, 2, 3, hop. 1, 2, 3, hop. And now shimmy just on one leg and shift. Shimmy on that other leg and shift. Shimmy just on the first leg and shift. Shimmy on the other leg and shift. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's try just that teensy tiny bit. Then we'll stick it all together to finish. So it really is just shimmy and a shimmy and a shimmy and a pound, shimmy and a shimmy and a shimmy and a round, shimmy and pop, shimmy and pop, shimmy and pop, shimmy and pop. Really try to put some oomph into those shimmies if you can. You want to be shimmy and a shimmy and a shimmy and a hop, shimmy and a shimmy and a shimmy and a hop, shimmy and pop. So make it really clear now. Go on just one leg, shimmy and pop, shimmy and pop, shimmy and pop, shimmy. If you want to use your arms like this, to be ooh and pop, ooh and pop. Be my guest. You can do whatever you like with the arms in this section. Or if you want to do pop, 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 be more stylized, that's up to you. So we're going to go over the whole dance now. So first without the music, and I want to try and really get the contrast between the earthiness of these, the big shimmies, and the lightness of the sweetness of the Sohizaki step. So we are going to go either 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmy, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmy, pop, 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 and a shimmy and around, pop, 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 and a shimmy and around, pop, 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 shimmy to the side, pop, 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 and shimmy to the side, and straight away shimmy and a 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 shimmy and around we go, shimmy and a 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 shimmy and around we go, shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop, shimmy, 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 pop. That's the choreography. Let's listen to the music and see what happens. want you to finish. I know it's a very high energy dance, this one. Hope it's not too hot where you are. I planned to do this when it was tipping it down with rain, and now today it's lovely and sunny. So let's hope you've got some good weather, but you're not melting by the end of this. We're going to do this one more time to finish. So try to act like you're performing this before a crowd of very appreciative friends, in the middle of a party or an open space with everyone standing carefully, not too near to one another, in an open area where they are absolutely allowed to be after the quarantine when everything is fine. One more time to finish. Here we go. Okay. Well done if you kept up with that. If you didn't, it's not surprising given you had 2 new moves to do and a pretty fast choreography to work to. So go back, practice that as many times as you want. Do with it what you will. Don't be afraid to mess up. Have fun. I'll see you next week. Bye.